we're trying to do is make sure we have some interesting conversations with interesting people in interesting locations. Nothing gets more interesting than this boat today. It's the star of the show, obviously. You're new to the business. You're new to the Nobiskrug team. What's your plan?
Yeah, the plan is we just took over Nobiskrug, and as the industry knows, it's coming from a difficult period. So first thing and focus on is to stabilize the company. We talked to the clients that were affected from this turbulent times and save the contracts to finish the contracts in our premises in Germany. And at the same time, obviously, I mean, that's why we're here at the show. There's so much going on in the market, so we try to bring our brand back on the landscape and promote ourselves as a reliable shipyard from the north of Germany with the highest quality that you can have in the market.
The good thing is the brand hasn't disappeared. It's just changing that perception back to we're strong, we're stable, we've got this sort of confidence now. Because as we all know, and you and I have just talked about, is that the market's hot.
Yeah.
So you're in a great position. How do we make sure that this never happens again?
Yeah. I don't know if you can, if anyone can make sure that never happens again. That's, I mean, let's be serious. That's a business life, so that can happen to almost everyone, I would say.
Yeah.
But for sure, we learned a lot from the previous years. The people that are in Nobiskrug, which we took over all the staff, almost all the staff from Nobiskrug, have tremendous experience of the things that went wrong.
Yes.
And we will try to make sure by all means to make it better and different with a new setting. So one aspect is that we brought in new management team, not only the management team from Flensburger, which is the shipyard that acquired Nobiskrug.
Yes.
We also hired some very experienced guys from the market. Second thing is that I'm convinced that what Nobiskrug was lacking in terms of operating model and performance were processes that were established.
Yep.
So we have solid processes in our Flensburg shipyard, and we will, whatever works, not everything works, from commercial and naval shipbuilding to bring it over to the yachting industry, but I think there are many aspects which we can apply, and that's what we will do and what we already are doing. So we need to stabilize the company in terms of the operating model, and that's what we're doing.
I think that's an interesting topic because obviously we've seen over the last 25 years shipyards arrive and disappear with quite regularity because of that lack of process, lack of, let's say, intelligent manufacturing application. Now, you're from an industry outside of yachting. What do you think of yachting as a helicopter view or an outsider looking in?
It's an interesting question to me because, as you said, I'm really new to the industry, and I mean this.
It's mental.
Setting here, yes, it's special. You need to get used to it. So it's the third day now for me in the show, and I mean, it's super interesting. You meet very interesting people and interesting, fascinating ideas, I would say. People are talking to me about, but basically, to me, it comes down. It's still shipbuilding. So it's a different kind of shipbuilding. Obviously, you have this interior areas which have a totally different quality level than what we know from commercial shipbuilding, but the core process of bringing out a ship of a shipyard is for me the same. And so I'm looking at this, or I'm looking at the industry very much at the moment, at least from this technical perspective. But what I'm learning within these 3 days is we need to adopt a little bit our mindset, or at least me as a person, to understand that the people in this industry are talking more about fantasy and very, very special, unique ideas than technic talk, which we have normally.
In a way, what's interesting on that topic is that sometimes there are too many people who have an opinion that can interfere with the manufacturing process. External influences of advisors or intermediaries or people who think they're experts. In commercial shipping, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, true.
And I think that's one thing, a discipline that can come into this market that actually changes the way in which projects are looked at. That not giving too much control to external parties is something that I think Nobiskrug will definitely benefit from, because it's probably one of the things that most shipyards who've disappeared have allowed too much control to lose from the shipyard.
I fully agree, and I think you have to have your own opinion, your own idea how things have to be done, and the logic which you just applied, that we bring that from the commercial shipbuilding world to Nobiskrug, which I said at the beginning. So we will bring a lot of processes and methodologies from Flensburger to Nobiskrug is exactly that. So we start the process with our own. That's the way how we do it.
Yeah.
And then kicks in what is different in the yachting industry. For sure, you have to make sure that the customer can bring all his requests and all his ideas to the table, but still you have to follow your own path and bring your own idea.
And run a business.
And run a business.
Yeah.
Eventually run a business. Yeah.
So part of our theme and our topic of conversation is 2030. It's the end of the UN Sustainability Goal deadline. There's lots of topics about sort of how to improve businesses and stability, sustainability, and let's say responsibility. What's your view on the future of our industry from those three things, SDGs?
I think anything that is related to propulsion. So we need new concepts and propulsion systems. We need green technology also in the yachting industry. This is my main topic, and being on this vessel, the shipyard already proved that they are a little bit ahead of time.
Yes.
Second topic is from the perspective of Nobiskrug especially, not the whole industry. As you mentioned, Nobiskrug is known for this iconic, very specialized projects, as we are here at the moment on Artefact. And we want to continue building these, but at the same time, we cannot only build these boats. So what we are aiming for is to do both.
Yes.
Once in a while, again and again, build such iconic projects. And my perception of the market is that the market is exactly this, requesting it from Nobiskrug. So the chats I had here the last 3 days on the show, showing me that interest in such very specialized projects from Nobiskrug. But we also need to build on what we can do in a more conventional and more less risk profile way than these outstanding projects.
Yeah, the risks are huge.
Yes.
And I think it needs managing all the time. That's probably your primary goal, is to manage that risk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we find a better profile on the risk than it was in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of your understanding of where the market is today, what are you seeing? Huge activity?
Yeah, again, I need to talk from an outside perspective, a little bit at least, very new to the industry, but it's overwhelming. So what I see here at the show, the interest from customers in Artefact, in working with Nobiskrug, from my point of view, it's way more than I expected. Yeah. So the appointments that we've made here on the boat and on our booth, it's totally packed, and I think I will go home on Sunday with a very positive impression from the market. I would say it's actually hot. And I don't know if
well, I think it is. I think within the size category that Nobiskrug has been so successful in terms of deliveries, it is very active today. The thing that's interesting for me, and I want to just bring another subject in, is like the supply chain. How can you change the way the supply chain is managed for the future? Because to me, that's one of the other areas of our market that can sometimes damage the project and create even more risk, especially on very complex elements of a project.
Yeah, you have always to find the right balance between competition on your systems, that you are able to have good prices, but on the other hand, you have so many areas and so many systems, material within such a boat where you have exclusivity in the supply chain, and only one supplier is really in the position to do that. Take, for example, the glass on this boat. So there are not 5 even on the market which you could seriously consider. So if you're in that position that you don't buy commodity, you buy something you have to rely on your partner, my best recommendation is treat him as a partner. Yep. And that's what we will do. And I bring that from naval shipbuilding, and it's well known in the naval shipbuilding industry. Yes. Yeah. Partnership is always both sides have to have a profit at the end. Yeah. But if you can play that with your partner, then this is from my point of view, the model to success. Yeah. And that's what we will do.
Yeah. And in terms of that whole build program and sort of the approach you're going to take in the future, will you ever go into semi-custom or sort of the Diamond yachting type cookie cutter approach of multiple projects in sync that are identical?
No, it's not.
Primarily custom?
Absolutely.
Good.
That's what we want to stick to.
That's good to hear. And in terms of your expectations from your personal goals, What do you want to achieve in the first 5 years? Apart from the stability which we talked about.
Exactly, that would be my first point, but we talked about it already. Yeah, a good, solid order book, but with the right risk profile. So not only having a strong order book, being able to execute this order book, and I mean the first 5 years will prove. And I think the preconditions to be successful, to first fill the order book and then execute the projects, the timing couldn't be better to go to the market from my point of view, as we talked about the hot market. We brought already the right people. We have a lot of experience in Nobiskrug, very, very skilled people. We can additionally bring our skills and capabilities from Flensburg, which is very close by. Yep. So it's a 50 kilometers drive.
Yes.
So I think, everything is in place to make it happen. And so actually I need to say, what I'm expecting is successful order book, successful execution of this project that we will hopefully sign very soon for the next 5 years. And I think thumbs up. It should work.
Thumbs up. Listen, Philip, thank you very much for your time. Really love to speak to you.
Appreciate it very much.
I'll see you in the shipyard soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Great.